Okay. So the facial expression, she was
Yeah. She's never happy with my mom. My parents used to live with my grandparents. So my grandparents moved to Idaho 2 years ago, and then last year my parents moved up there around the same time. And my parents moved up there with no house and no jobs. They moved just up and moved, and so my parents actually had to live with my grandparents. And my mom's the type that's like, she'll always do the dishes. She'll make sure everything's clean, especially because she was living with my grandparents. And I mean, they were helping financially, but they weren't doing, a lot. And so my mom would kind of go overboard, but she was just being respectful of the house that she was in. And, my grandma was like, you don't have to try so hard about everything, and just like rude. And my mom's like, I'm not trying to try hard. I'm just trying to, live here and be respectful of you and not leave a mess and stuff. So, my grandma's just never happy with her. If my mom cooks dinner, my grandma won't eat it because it's not perfect. We don't eat like this. That's what she said to my mom one time. We don't eat like this. My mom's like, you don't eat healthy? So she's just never happy with her. So it's
just finds ways just to...
Yeah. Facial expression, she's just rude to my mom. So, never a right facial expression. Yeah.
So how do you feel about your grandma?
Well, I love her, but she babies my aunt. My Aunt Christy's the youngest, so my Aunt Gina's the oldest, and then my dad and my Aunt Christy. And my Aunt Gina has struggled throughout life financially. She always has a dime to her name, is what she always says. She can never get above. You know what I mean? She's just living. And she's always struggled, and for some reason my grandma just doesn't not like she doesn't care, but she still babies my Aunt Christy because she's the baby of the family. And so no matter what happens, it's, oh, poor Christy. And if we don't, if the family doesn't check up on my aunt and ask her how she's doing every 5 seconds, then my grandma will pout and go in bed and lay there all day and pout about how nobody cares about my Aunt Christy. You know what I mean? And so it bothers my dad because he's like, you're the one babying her, so now my Aunt Christy loves all the attention. And so everybody knows that she's babied, and so my grandma's very dramatic about it. So, yeah.
So how do you feel about the whole baby situation?
It's annoying, sometimes, life happens and you just gotta say, hey, you'll get up, you're good. Well, my grandma just goes, oh, poor Christy. Oh my gosh, nothing ever goes right for her. And it's like, well, what about my Aunt Gina? My Aunt Gina, doesn't have a lot to her name. Every paycheck she gets, it goes straight to the house, and she'll have $20 for groceries that week. You know what I mean? And it's never about my Aunt Gina, which I'm not saying it should be, but she never worries about my Aunt Gina about she worries about my Aunt Christy. It's just weird. She just babies her, and it's never about anybody else in the family but my aunt. I'm like, she's 45. This is the first time she has moved out of my grandparents' house in her whole entire life. She's 45. So, so she is the baby, and everybody in the family has to love her and ask how she is, and it's crazy.
So how is your grandma towards you?
So my grandma, she's always shown me love. Not love, so she's my only grandma that's alive, actually. My mom's mom passed in 2007, but my other grandmas, they gave me love and support. And this grandma does, but it's just not I'm just not the favorite of the family. So there's 3 grandchildren, and we all